Alright, so the Yankees just signed Corey Kluber, and that's huge news for the New York Yankees. But I think the rest of the MLB is also extremely affected by this trade, and here's why. First off, it probably means that Masahiro Tanaka is not coming back to the Yankees, which means he might return to Japan, but with Kluber being off the market and the Yankees probably not showing any more interest, it might drive up demand in the rest of the market for Tanaka. So if anyone's in need for a good starting pitcher, I think they could get a deal on Tanaka. But more importantly, even before the Kluber signing, the Yankees' 40-man roster was already full. This means the Yankees either need to designate a couple people for assignment, or they need to make some trades. If you look at the people that they might get rid of, you got guys like Tyler Wade, and I think the team on the other side of New York, they might actually have a good reason to pick up Tyler Wade. Wade hasn't really proven himself in the majors yet, but with Cano being suspended for the rest of the season, I think Wade might make a solid piece as a second baseman in the Mets organization, especially if they think they're legitimate championship contenders. The Yankees also got a crowded outfield, so they might be looking to get rid of guys like Mike Tauchman. I think a good spot for a guy like him might be like the Phillies, you know? It's been rumored that they've offered JT Realmundo a huge contract, and they still got Bryce Harper on that team, so they're clearly not sellers yet. They're definitely still trying to make a run. And their outfield last season, in terms of WAR, ranked 26th in the MLB. And so taking a guy like Mike Tauchman, I think it adds some depth and gives them some much needed help. But I think what's more likely to happen is that the Yankees get rid of a pitcher. And I know most of y'all that are watching this video and are subscribed are Padres fans, so here's where I'll make the connection to the Padres. The Padres need bullpen help. And the Yankees have guys like Aroldis Chapman that they're willing to give up to the Padres. I'm just kidding. That's never going to happen. More likely, they got guys like Adam Ottavino. I think that's someone that they're willing to give up and they're willing to let go. He had a pretty terrible 2020 season. His hard hit percentage was in the bottom 2% in the MLB. Literally 50% of the balls that were put into play off of him were hard hits. But I think he's due for a comeback season if you think about it. He strikes out a whole bunch of guys. He has a really good FIP. And his Sierra is not too bad either. And if you don't know what Sierra is, it just takes into account the type of balls that were put into play. Like if you give up more ground balls, your Sierra is going to be better. But anyways, Ottavino's not too far off of his stellar years with the Colorado Rockies. And maybe bringing him back to the National League West, it might do him some good. Now, of course, he's set to make like $8 or $9 million this season, and I don't think he's worth that much. But if the Yankees were willing to take on part of that contract in a trade, then I think the San Diego Padres might have a deal there. All this is to say that Kluber's deal isn't an isolated incident, but it echoes all throughout the MLB. Let me know if you think this was a good deal for the Yankees. Now I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'm probably watching League though. Go TSM.